Right, yes, I know. You're thinking, isn't this a remarkable change of events? It's a Commander Lucosa video. And you'd be right, it is one. And, just to surprise you even more, it's an exploration video. But this one's a bit different because I highly doubt I'm going to cover any of the journey, because it's almost certainly going to be another boring one where I don't see anything of any interest on the way. If I do, then okay, I'll go ahead and do a video of it, but yeah, I doubt that's going to happen. So the only video that there will be is probably of the final destination. And before I show you where that is, I have done a very small amount of additional exploration, which really only consisted of going to other systems within the Empire that hadn't been explored, and I was doing that while trying to find a particular upgrade to the ASP, which I've now got. But it means that I'm now up to 1,166 systems visited, and the profits from exploration is at 9.3 million. So it'll be interesting to see how much that goes up. I'm fairly confident it will break 10 million, because the place I'm going to is 980 light years away. So the trip there and back should certainly yield more than 700,000. Level 2 detail scans at 1,871. There's a faint chance it may reach 2,000. I guess it depends on how much I scan when I get to wherever I'm going or on the way. Now, as far as the upgrade that I was talking about goes, it's this, a B3 auto field maintenance unit. Now, okay, I really don't need it at the moment. The only time I'm going to need it is if I start doing some really long distance trips, like, Sagittarius A not out and the likes. Then I probably will need it, because the integrity will go down so much that the various components will start taking damage. So I figured, what the fuck, I'll get that now. I was looking for an A3, but the A3 is about 2.5 million, whereas this thing was about 800,000. But more to the point, this thing, although it doesn't repair quite as much damage, it actually has more ammo. So I figured, fuck it, the B3 is the one for me. I mean, auto field maintenance units don't have any mass, so it didn't matter either way. So I went with the B. Same with the fuel scoop, I went with the B because it was cheaper and there's no mass with fuel scoops, so that's why I went with the B5 rather than the A. The A5 costs over 9 million. It's not as if I can't afford it. My balance is currently at 31,729,138, but I didn't want the rebuy cost to go up too much on this ship. I would rather it's be under $1 million. I also changed the weapons. For a while I had pulse lasers, but I came up against a wanted Cobra, so I decided to take him on, and amazingly he was able to run away because I had 4 pulse lasers and 2 multi-cannons. They really weren't doing fuck all, so I went back to my favourite cannons, but instead of 4 class 1 beam lasers, because class 1 beam lasers really don't do an awful lot, I decided to go with burst lasers instead. That's a loadout that will be more than fine, especially as once I get outside populated space, I'm really not going to be using them. So, where am I heading? Well, there it is. 39 jumps away, BD-12, 1171, 72 even. And why am I going there? Well, I'll show you. 72. I'm going there because this is another system that's within a nebula. Again, it's a very small nebula, the Spyrograph Nebula. And if we put on the realistic display, it's showing a lot of like colour variation there. So the star inside it is extremely bright, just like in the last video. So I'm going to go and check that out. And I may, instead of turning around and coming back, I may keep on going. There you can see a bit of a clue as to where I would go if I do keep on going. So the old Orion Nebula is certainly going to be looming very large in the background by the time I get there. Like 39 jumps away. Now technically this mission started in the Atlantis system, which is where I got the auto field maintenance upgrade. But I've stopped here because in Atlantis my destination was over 1,000 light years away, so I couldn't I couldn't lay the course in. So by stopping here I now can. So although technically I started in Atlantis, I guess you could say that it's China here is the real start. So anyway, that's what I'm doing. So like I say, it's highly unlikely that there will be any anything decent on the way. If there is, I'll do a video of it. Otherwise, I'll see you in BD-12 1172. And yeah, I think that's about it. So I shall be back when there is something to come back to, as I seem to now have a habit of saying. Alrighty. Okay. Well, it's been quite the uneventful trip so far. And this system is extremely unimpressive, as it's consists of this star and nothing else.
Fuel scooping complete.
Nevertheless, column 70, sector BL-0, B42-0 is the 1200th system that I have visited. So it does have that as far as milestones go. I'm now 6 jumps away from my destination,
Fuel scoop disengaged,
which is of course only the first of 3 destinations that I'm ultimately going to. Mind you, the second and third ones are both very vague. The second one is right there, the Orion Nebula. I'll be taking a look around there. I could be there a while because there are a hell of a lot of systems in within there. I want to go and take a look at quite a few. And the other one, well, while you're within populated space, you're used to seeing it right next to Orion. Well, at the moment, it's almost nowhere to be seen because it's, well, because of where I am, it's essentially moved its location. I haven't got a fucking clue where the hell it's gone. That is the Witch Head Nebula, which I'd say it was somewhere down about there while I was approaching Orion, but yeah, I cannot see it anywhere now, so I may have gone completely past it, which is why I will be going there on the way back from Orion. There it is. So that will be my third destination, the Witch Head Nebula. There doesn't appear to be very many systems actually inside it. They all seem to be around, you know, close to it, but not actually within it. Hopefully that's not the case, and there will be some inside there, but you never know. Well, if you look at the map, you do sort of know. But the views hopefully will still be alright. So there you go, that's a 1200th system. I shall be back when I reach BD-12 1172. Right, as you can clearly see, I am not there yet, but this next jump is the penultimate one. After that, the next jump will be to BD-12 1172, which is within the Spyrograph Nebula. As you can see, I'm already in the Spyrograph sector, but I have a very strong feeling that that is the Spyrograph Nebula there. So that's where I'm going to be going, not this jump, but the next one.
Frameshift drive charging.
I might as well keep the video going, I suppose. Chances are I'm not going to be doing a lot in this next place.
4, 3, 2, 1, engage. Fuel scooping.
Okay, maybe I will.
Fuel scooping complete.
Once it finishes scanning this sun, which it now needs to do a second time, there are two others, both well within scanning range. The first one is particularly well within scanning range. And I now only have two destinations, as you can see on the navigation chart there. The Spyrograph sector PD-S B4-0 or BD-12 1172, my next destination. As it is, I am going to be scanning this thing first. The Orion Nebula is getting ever closer, as is the Spyrograph Nebula there in front of it. That's where I will be next. But this could take a bit of getting to because this is a brown dwarf, so it turns out I am going to pause the video after all. We'll be back when we are about to jump to the next system. Right, that's that star done, and our destination is very clearly marked out for us there. BD-12 1172, complete with Spyrograph Nebula all the way around it. It even has a bloody great black border around the Nebula part. With Orion Nebula looming extremely large in the background. Right, let's take a look.
Frameshift drive charging.
Hopefully there will be a bit more in this system than there was in BD+30 623.
1, Engage.
Looks very familiar at the moment. A lot further away from the star. This star's pretty bloody big, 46.5 light seconds away from it.
Fuel scooping.
Oh, there's no shortage of stuff in here. So this place definitely has far more in it.
Fuel scooping complete.
It's gone from one extreme to the other, really. Thankfully, everywhere's relatively close. Right, well, I did say I would explore everything in the systems when they are the ultimate destination. Very clearly see the colouring of the nebula that we're inside. It's more of a sort of greeny blue haze.
Fuel scoop disengaged.
That could be partly because of the light of the sun that I'm leaving behind. High metal content planet it's a rocky surface with an extremely complex ring system around it that's completely blue. Surely the nebula plate is playing its part in that. There is something about being inside the nebula here that looks quite impressive. It reminds me of Freelancer. You're travelling through nebulas quite a lot in that game, and it helps the atmosphere significantly as a result. This is another one that has a ring system and they're all blue. Well, I wonder if that's going to be the same with all of them. This one has a ring system around it. There's another high metal content. is quite impressive, no doubt about that. Another planet with a ring system, even though it's not a gas giant. Oh, no, it isn't. Okay. I'm starting to wonder if every planet is, well, the planet's either blue or its ring system is blue. It seems to be the case at the moment. First worthless one that I've scanned. Now, I'll spare you a video of me scanning absolutely everything, because as you can see there's plenty here to do. So I think once I've scanned this one and then the moon around it, I'll pause the video there. But I'll definitely be back before I leave this system, and hopefully I can carry on towards the Orion Nebula. There are not very many systems that I can jump to at the moment, so I'm hoping it's possible. When I do, the number of systems then jumps up considerably, because there's a huge number of them within the Orion Nebula. Right, that's those two done, so I shall be back in a few. Right, here we are, heading towards the first of several suns orbiting the main blue-white. They're not all brown dwarfs either. Once I finish scanning the last of the I guess this mini system, I'll show you what I mean on the galaxy map. So of those, next one, another brown dwarf, can be scanned from this far away, but it's a very dim one. Let's just slow down a bit and I'll show you the system map. So there we have the Class O blue-white, and so all the various planets, there's no shortage of them. So we have the brown dwarf there, another one there, another one there, and then finally we have a Class M on the end there. So there is no shortage of stars in this place, even if some of them are borderline as far as being categorised as stars, but well, there's certainly enough to be scanning here. So that brown dwarf has quite a large ring system around it. It did show rings within the system map, but it didn't suggest a ring system as complex as that one. Anyway, I'll continue scanning away and be back in a few. Well, the red dwarf star there, which makes up BD-12117219, certainly provides quite the contrast with the background. There's the blue-white in the centre, right the way over there. This isn't the last object in this system to scan, but I'm getting through it. It's almost the last. The trouble is, and this is one of the reasons why I hate scanning everything in a system, is having done all this, I've then got another 3,660 to go and scan all that lot. But thankfully that is the last of it. But it's the having to travel, you know, all these thousands of light seconds to get from one bloody planet to the other. And you go to one and then you find the next one is another, you know, like 8,000 away, and so you're spending ages travelling across to the next one. That's why it takes ages, and that's why I get so bored with it that I no longer do it unless I'm in, you know, a very particular system like this one. So, right, a bit of travelling to go. We get to this last bit. Hopefully it is the last of them, and like I say, that will then be this whole system scanned. So I'll be back when that bit's done. Well, the old brown dwarf there certainly provides quite the contrast to the background as well. This planet I'm doing isn't the last one. There's still just a couple more. One that's keeping that other, well, I guess it was a moon, in rather close company, and after that, whoops, is this one here, which is being classed as a planet even though it's orbiting around that brown dwarf just like all these others. And that's the last one. Must be a fair size. It's a rocky planet, but I'm scanning it already at 92 light seconds away. Right, a final high metal content planet to be getting on with, and that is the entire system done. I think. I'll just double check. Yep. So this is how it looks as far as the rather boring map view goes. And I've scanned all of those, and that's how it looks as far as the vastly more impressive view of the system itself. Now, to check on where we're going next, and it is the Orion Nebula, specifically the V380 Orionis, which is within it. And there is a view, there is a way in, but I mean, look at the density of planets in here. And I'll tell you what, NY Orionis, I hadn't noticed that system before, but surely if it's so prominent that it has just a short designation like that, there must be a reason for it. So I'll head there first, and then, I mean, there's no way I'm going to be able to visit every system here, but I'm going to visit quite a few because I want to well, first things first, I would certainly get a decent amount in terms of credits, and secondly, well, since I am in this area, I may as well you know, take a look at them all, or as many as I can. So it's only 12 jumps away, which is nice. So I'll take one last look around here. Did look quite impressive, I have to say. It's also very clear that this nebula is extremely dense, the actual dust cloud itself, because there is no sign of the Orion Nebula behind it or through it, because if you remember in the last video, the nebula that I was inside there, you could very clearly see the California Nebula belong. Certainly not the case with this one. Right, so well, we'll see what we get when we leave.
Charging.
Probably be back to the boring old view, and then I shall be back well, when there's something interesting, if I don't get to
2, 1,
before. That didn't sound like it made a lot of sense, you know what I mean. If I see anything interesting before I reach my final destination. Shock horror. Not an awful lot here.
fuel scooping.
Nothing else in this system. Not a great deal of choice as far as which systems to go to.
Fuel scooping complete.
Right, now let's see how much screen space the old Orion Nebula takes up now that I'm getting ever closer. The answer is a hell of a lot by the looks of it. It's going to fill it. And yet I am still over 200 light years away from it. I mean, let's see, so I'm 11 jumps away. And how many, trouble is I didn't make a note of the fucking system that I'm going to, so I've got to do it this way. And why Orionis there, so it's still 242, you know which one it is, there it is, right, 242.48 light years away, and yet the nebula looks like that. So yeah, that's quite, I'm going to make a note, NY Orionis. Right. So, right, well, there you go. I'll be back when there is an update worth giving. Right, new snippet and a new day. All the other previous ones were done last night, but I was absolutely shagged out and I had no fags left, so I'm carrying on today. Now, I entered the NGC 1999 sector, and curiosity got the better of me. I decided to go and have a look at what NGC 1999 actually was. It turned out to be another small nebula with another system inside it. V380 Orionis, in fact, and there it is in front of me with the nebula all around it. So, might as well go and have a look.
Frameshift drive charging.
There's going to be another blue-white star in the middle of it. Whether it's a Type B or a Type O remains to be seen.
4, 3, 2, 1, engage.
Not a particularly bright one.
Fuel scooping.
Type A. There you go. Right. There's not a lot to explore in here, and it's all well within range. So we may as well do that. I can't even see the other star because it's on the other side of this one. But I am already scanning it, so we may as well keep doing that. There's a red dwarf. How boring. There it is. Now the big question,
Fuel scoop disengaged.
now that we've got away from the sun, is what's happened to the nebula. It seems to be extremely faint. Not seeing a great deal in terms of the cloud coverage or anything. Okay, well there's some around there. That looks like it's about it. So this actual system doesn't look like it is actually inside the nebula itself. Oh, okay, it's starting to spread around a bit now, so... Oh, maybe it is, but this is one of the least dense nebulas I've come across. Well, it's only what, about the fourth one, fifth one that I have. So although it is providing some colour, it's not the usual blackness. There's not a whole hell of a lot of it. It seems to be about it. That would help. Well, there's not an awful lot to explore around here. I may end up putting you through the entire scanning of the system. You can then see how time consuming it is. Here I'm only scanning 6 objects, and they're not that far apart, I guess. And I fucked up this one because I'm coming in way too fucking quickly, so I can't scan it because I'll shoot right past it before the scan can finish. Take care of that. Oh, fuck it, I've done it again. I'm just not with it this morning. Fuck's a god. Oh yeah, I really fucking need that. At least it was somewhat worthwhile since it's a fucking high metal content planet. Right, that's that system done. That's this nebula scanned, such as it was. So now I need to get back on course for the Orion Nebula. Right, well, we're going to be coming in at a slightly different angle to what I was before, which means that well, I'm hitting these two mass systems before I where am I going to be? Okay, so Running Man sector, I will actually be entering that. The Running Man Nebula itself is actually almost part of the Orion Nebula, so I am going to be checking out two nebulas pretty much at the same time, or two nebulae I should say. So that looks like being the only time I am in the Running Man sector, so there shouldn't be that many jumps, but whatever it is. I've got 7 to the actual target itself. So I shall pause this here and we'll be back when we are about to enter the Orion Nebula itself. Right. About to enter Running Man sector DH-L B8-0, and the old Orion Nebula is certainly looming quite large now. I'm thinking that the Running Man Nebula is actually like this part that I'm going around now. It's that large area there, and the Orion Nebula is the larger, sort of not quite so hard outlined part all the way around it. I could be wrong. It could be that the Running Man Nebula is just this small loopy part here. That's my scientific term for it, the loopy part. Anyway, let's see what we shall find here. I suspect not a great deal. Well, there is going to be more than one thing here at least.
Fuel scooping.
17, including another sun, which is 9,000 light seconds away. It's right on the borderline of whether or not I can be bothered to go and look at it. Oh, might as well.
Fuel scooping complete.
Well, it's going to take a little bit to get there, so I'll restart this at on. Let's have a look where we are. Right, well, we are very close to entering the nebula. Now I'll restart the next part once we're at the next system. Right, now according to the map, the next jump will have us inside the Orion Nebula itself. We are pretty close to it. It's more than filling the screen, as you can see. So,
Frameshift drive
let's
charging.
see what we see from within. But technically we're still going to be right on the outskirts, so I don't think we're going to be completely surrounded by a red cloud.
1. Engage.
If anything, it's going to look a bit like being in NGC 1999 again. First thing is that the sun is very uninspiring. It's rather boring
Fuel scooping.
red dwarf by the looks of it. Oh, you fucking cunty thing. Lost. Right, well, that star's not too far away. In fact, that planet isn't too far away, and out here, yeah, I can scan it already, even though it's the other side of the sun.
Fuel scooping complete.
It's going to take a while scanning a planet from this distance. And the sun is well within scanning range, so I'll go and do that, and then I'll carry on. I'll start the next part when we are actually at NY Orionis. Right, back in a few. Right, I'm actually still in that same system, but I've just realised, okay, this large central cloud here, that is the Orion Nebula. That looping part around it must be Barnard's Loop. And that's still a fair way away. So this middle part, which is actually the part I wanted to see more than, you know, the cloud around it, is the part I'm going to. So that's a rather happy coincidence. Let's see what awaits us here. There's certainly no shortage of destinations now.
4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
Another rather boring star greets us. Sun.
Fuel scooping.
Those two are within range. I'll scan those. Right, so now I will be back when we reach NY Orionis. Right, next stop is NY Orionis. So we should be inside the nebula by then.
Frameshift drive charging.
Soon find out.
Engage.
Fairly unimpressive start to begin with. It's either a yellow or a yellow-white.
Fuel scooping.
Oh, fuck it, right. At least 50% of every object that I have scanned today so far has had to do this. So of course, lack of offline mode, you know, isn't going to impede in the game. It's just that if you're exploring on a Sunday, you've got to scan at least half of every space body twice. You've also got to wait fuck knows how long for the server to catch up before you can scan anything, including the sun that is right in front of you that you're fuel scooping from. And then you've got to wait even longer for the discovery scanner to actually show you what it's found. But, you know, being online all the time won't impede the game, you know, in any way. Oh, fuck off, Frontier Developments, and all you fucking brown nosers who say that the thing is fine. It's bollocks. Everything about it is just fucking bullshit.
Fuel scoop disengaged.
Right. Now, this is clearly going to take me an awful lot longer than I planned. Because, I mean, I'm not going to scan everything here, but what I was going to do... We'll go to the galaxy map. Now, you can see the huge number of space bodies here. Now, I was just going to pick, at random, 50 of them, and go to them and scan it. And if there are any interesting views for any of them, then I'll do the video. I'm obviously not going to keep a tally of all of them, but I am just going to keep, you know, a rough tally of you know, which ones I've been to and what have you, and try and do at least 50 of them while I'm here. If we look around us, I mean, yeah, you can see the cloud from the nebula quite prominently, so I would say we are certainly inside it. But we're not exactly deep inside it. The trouble is, it's difficult to see because of all the what do you call them? The lines coming out of here showing all the routes to everywhere. But anyway, right, that's what I'm going to be doing. So looks like an awful lot of them I cannot fuel scoop from. Because, well, let's switch off the display for the ones that I can't fuel scoop from. And right, well, I think that's yeah. So I shall be back once I see any particularly interesting systems and or views. So back in a bit. Right. I am heading towards 2 mass J05351986-05303321. And who wouldn't? But I mean, you can see the intense redness of the Orion Nebula here. I'm right on the outskirts of it still though, so I'm gonna head a bit further in. I've now visited 1,230. What I'm probably going to do is stick around here, since there are so many systems, until I've reached 1,300.
Frameshift drive charging.
And then I shall head off to the next destination. So I'm going to be here for a little while yet. Right. More when it happens.
2, 1.
Right, update. I'm heading much deeper into the Orion Nebula rather, so I'm heading to V1611 Orionis. This well, as you can see, 21.2 light years is a hell of a distance compared to where I have been jumping for a while. Most of the time I've not even been going 2 light years. But I want to go deeper in. As you can see, it does look quite impressive around here. Hopefully it will look even more impressive when we're actually within that lot. Now of course there's every possibility that this may be a bit too far in and I'll go right past it all.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Hardly shocked me. I'm still nowhere near the target for number of systems scanned before I head off out of here.
Fuel scooping.
It's just going to be another boring red dwarf.
Fuel scooping complete.
Right, so what do we have around
Fuel
here?
scoop disengaged.
I think all of these planets are going to be a fair distance. They are all going to be bloody, yeah, clusters. It does look like I have done what I thought I might do, which is go right past it all. That's looking back towards Galactic Centre, as you can clearly see. It is now all rather more faint. So, okay, well, as I leave the sun, it's certainly becoming a lot more dense, a lot more vivid. Does look quite impressive, there's no two ways about it. Right, well I'm a long way from finished. How many have I scanned now? Only 1,235, so it's still another 65 to go. So, right, well, I'll be back when I have something else to say. Right, well, just arrived at 2 Mass J, oh fuck yeah, one of those systems anyway, and as you can clearly see, second sun is very close to the main sun that is here. Refueling from the old fuel scoop.
Fuel scooping. Fuel scooping complete.
Took all of about 1/10 of a second because this system was 0.64 light years away from where I just come from. So there's another sun that's also not so far away, so there's 3 almost right on top of each other here. Last one's a brown dwarf. So yeah, this red dwarf here, this one here, and then a brown dwarf just beyond it.
Fuel scoop disengaged.
And there could be another sun not too far away. Okay, it looks like it's about 30,000, yeah. That's too far, I can't be asked. Well, that was interesting and unexpected. Right, more when it happens. Right, next update, and the extremely strikingly red colouring of the nebula there, and then just over there, that looks a bit like the Witch Head Nebula. It's not, because I'm nowhere near that, but yeah, that is quite the sight. The Witch Head Nebula is actually where I'm going to be heading when I'm on my way back from here. I've still got a way to go because this is only my system 1248. So I still have 52 to go before I leave here, but yeah, I will be going back via the Witch Head Nebula, and by which time I'll probably be not only sick of the sight of the Orion Nebula, but all nebulas for a while. So anyway, let's get this one underway. I can admire the view for only so long. I do need to scan quite a few systems, so I don't want to really be hanging around.
4, 3, 2.
Well, that's certainly the best view that I've found so far.
Fuel scooping.
Objects is about average. There's been a hell of a lot of stuff I've found. I've taken to just plucking, you know, random systems from the navigation panel there, and if it comes up unknown in the bottom corner here, then I'll go and see it.
Fuel scoop disengaged.
So I haven't actually looked at the galaxy map for a bit. Alright, more when it happens. Right, on my way to exploring this second star in this system. This is only the next system I've come to since that last clip. But I forgot that there's another milestone of sorts. This is system number 1250 in terms of systems visited. So only another 50 to go. Oh great. I'm determined to, you know, see it through to the bitter end. I'm going to stay here until I reach 1300, but I'm probably going to be sick of the fucking sight of this place by the time I get there. I say that as if I'm not already. I mean, yeah, okay, it looks great, but fucking hell, there's only so much you can do in, you know, one system before you get bored of the fucking sight of it and want to go somewhere else. Have I been there? Yes. Have I been there? Yes. There? No. Right, let's try KW Orionis then. Almost looks like it's practically outside the nebula itself.
Frameshift drive charging.
Oh well. That's where we're going anyway. That will help.
4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
So going to have plenty of pages of you know, system data to sell, but I don't know how valuable any of it's going to be because I don't scan very much of it. Once again, it takes a fucking age for the
fuel scooping complete.
Actual star to be recognised. Only 12 in this system, that's quite low. Anyway, I'll be back when there's something worth adding. Right, update time. This is V2574 Orionis, and it is the 1275th system, so only another 25 to go. I can safely say I'll be glad to see the back of the Orion Nebula after all this lot. Right, so next destination is to mass J05353175-0516399, and I will have completely forgotten that by the time I actually arrive from hyperspacing. Right, more when it happens. Right, an update. I haven't done one for a bit. Next system we are heading to is V2136 Orionis. How many have I done now? 1,285. So there's 15 more to go. It can't fucking happen soon enough. Well, it looks like I'm completely within it, but when you look down there you'll see that I am again nearer the outskirts than anywhere else.
Frameshift drive charging.
So not actually within the nebula itself, or at least not at the moment.
4, 3, 2,
So I've been
1.
in and out, well, like something that goes in and out of something a lot. That you can come up with whatever that could be.
Fuel scooping complete.
Fuel scooping does not take long at all because all these jumps I'm doing are pretty much to nowhere. But the number of systems I've visited means that finding another system that I haven't been to yet is getting a bit tricky. So for this one I have to jump all of 1.84 light years, which is huge compared to a lot of jumps I've been doing.
Disengaged.
Because there are so many systems in close proximity. The majority of jumps I do are less than 1 light year. Indeed, quite a few of them are less than half a light year. So clearly I'm heading back to the outskirts again.
Frameshift drive charging.
Anyway, that's enough of this update. More when there's something worthwhile. Right, not quite finished. I have 5 more to do. But this system that I'm going to next, V2066 Orionis, is rather interesting, because below it is another system that's a further 0.2 or 0.02 light years away, called V380 Orionis. So there seem to be two systems very close to each other with exactly the same name. Why? Well, let's go and have a look and see if we can find out.
Fuel scooping complete.
Only one object found. It's only 41,000 light seconds away. I say only, it's still way too far for me to be bothered to go and have a look at it. Well, that's all there is here. So let's go to, well, let's leave V2066 Orionis and go to V2066 Orionis. Just 0.19 light years away. That's the distance, in fact no, I think that's less than the distance from where you arrive in Alpha Centauri to Proxima Centauri, where Hutton Orbital is. So yeah, theoretically you can go there using Super Cruise if you're fucking stupid. So let's do it this way, now that we can here, unlike in Alpha Centauri. Another boring red dwarf. Fuel scooping will take...
Fuel scooping.
Yeah.
Fuel scooping complete.
It's on time today. Now we can scan it. That could be another sun that's only 132 light seconds away, so I'll scan that. Right. So let's go and have a look at this. It's a brown dwarf. But the other sun is 42,000 light seconds away, so I'm not going to bother with that one. Right, so there we go. So you have two systems with the same name that are very close to each other, but are most certainly two different systems. How many have I done now? 4 more. Right, well, I'll be back when I've done those 4. Right, all you fucking brown nosers and fucking Frontier Development saying that the game being online only won't interfere with gameplay. Here I am at the 1299th system, and as you can see, because the servers are fucked up, I cannot scan anything in this system because I keep getting this data corrupted, please try again bullshit, because their servers are fucking up. So my game has now been compromised, and I'm gonna have to, well, I'm not gonna piss off because I'm not going to, you know, a system only to have to leave it again.
Fuel scoop disengaged.
So this is entirely their doing, so I'm having to sort of try and guess where the sun is, because I can't, you know, lock onto it to track it that way. Nothing is in the scanner. It's just absolute fucking bollocks. Now it finally works. But, you know, things like this happening and then fronted it around and say the game being online only isn't going to impede on, you know, playing it. And brown nosers say that they're right, it won't. Well, yes it fucking does. How much more fucking proof do you need, you know? Thank fuck I've only got one more system to scan after this one. Right. Well, there it is. I've got to get round the other side of the sun here. It looks like it's actually within the nebula. You can see it's starting to become rather more prominent. Now that we're leaving the light from the sun, you can also see that once again I'm on the outskirts. And I mean, it's probably because so many of the names are so similar, but I'm sure I've scanned some of these systems more than once. But it comes up unknown when you come back here. So, like I say, because there are so many systems around here, you know, and the names are all very similar, that's probably why.
Frameshift drive charging.
Anyway, here we go. This 2MAS J05348483-052525 will be the 1300th system I've visited.
3, 2,
And
1, engage.
better for me, especially in the short term, is it is the last system that I am going to scan within the Orion Nebula, and I am exceptionally pleased about that,
Fuel scooping.
because I've been
complete.
here for, well, what seems like an age, and I am fucking sick of the sight of this place. Alright, well, I don't think I'm going to bother scanning any of them. But at last it's done. Thank fuck for that.
Fuel scoop disengaged.
Fuck it, I might as well scan one planet while I'm here. It looks like it's nowhere near where the actual nebula is. I'm right on the outskirts of it again. It's over there, and I'm going over here. And if I was going to scan it, I'm going into fucking quickly. Well, at least it's a high metal content one, so I guess it was worth doing. I'll do that one. I'm not doing that one. But yes, there we are. 1,300 systems visited. So that means after scanning this planet That is me done and dusted with the fucking Orion Nebula. And I'll be glad to see the back of it, because yes, okay, it looks impressive. The Nebula is certainly impressive. But I've been here for fuck knows how long now, and I'm just sick to death of the fucking thing. I need to go somewhere new. In fact, because I've been doing this for what seems like an age, after this trip's finished, I've got one more nebula to go and see. That might be me done for exploration for a bit. I might do something different. Oh well, at least it was another high metal content planet again. Right, so then it's going to be a case of finding a route out of here. But, well, that's this one for the moment. I'll be back when I've plotted my course to get the fuck out of here. Right, had to take a bit of a break there, so now back in the same system I was in the previous clip. But we're now leaving. There you can see the next, the final destination for this trip. Witch Head Sector DL-YD22. The name gives you a bit of a clue as to where it is. Now, of course, to start with, I've got to get out of all this lot. It shouldn't take me too long. I think about 2 or 3 jumps will get me out of here and off in the direction that I want to go, which is into the Witch Head Nebula. So well, 17 jumps to get there. Right, well, as always, an update when there's something worth showing. I really should do that before I start recording. Anyway, I haven't got very far, just one more jump and I've bumped into my first Telltale star for quite a while. But you can see quite clearly, now that we're looking at the Witch Head Nebula from, well, essentially the other side, that instead of being just the purple, like almost like butterfly wings fanning out, the whole thing is actually mostly comprised of that black region. So it looks like this nebula is going to be very dark and there's not going to be too many colours there to see. Although the reason that I'm exploring is around this area here where the centre point is. I deliberately chose one of the purple regions, so we should see some sort of colour there. Anyway, I just thought I'd give you that update just for the hell of it, because I've got nothing better to do. So more when it happens. Right, well, we're getting it again. This fucking data corrupted bullshit.
Fuel scooping complete.
So I'll see if what I did last time will work, where I bugger off away from it so it then stops and then turn around and face it
Fuel
again.
scoop disengaged.
I mean, this is just fucking, you know. not fucking doing nothing. So I'm going to have to start again. Well, you know, stop the game and restart it, just in the hope that it might actually, you know, work. There's no fucking excuse for this bollocks. Just because it's you know, Sunday and therefore the servers might be busy. Well, when you make the game online only, you fucking make sure that the servers can cope with it. So it's the second time now that I've been to a system where this has happened. The first time it did fix itself. I don't know how. But I mean, this is just absolute fucking bullshit. And you know, I may actually put this this actual clip that I've recorded here on its own, and see if anyone from Frontier Developments will actually, you know, have the balls to come up with an answer. I mean, okay, it will be a bullshit excuse, but something that they'll consider an answer. I mean, I'm not going to waste my breath asking, you know, the brown nosers to try and justify it, because all they're going to do is, you know, well, because they can't, they'll insult me because I've pointed it out. So, yeah, I'm going to have to exit the game and see what happens when I come back on. So, I'll be back when this fucking thing decides it's going to actually work. Right, we are back, and I've been able to actually select the fucking star and even get it scanned. Can't believe it. Now, as a result of that, I've got to set my course for the Witch Head Nebula again. So I'll scan these two. And then I'll get that sorted out. Now, I was going to, I can't even remember which fucking system I was going to. I think it was this one, because of the star type. Yeah, okay, well, it's that one now, so how far away is it? 219.37 light years. Well, let's see how long it fucking works this time. Alright, back when there's something else. Right, we are 343 jumps away from it, and now that it's not up against the galactic centre there, it's starting to look rather more like it does when you see it from Earth. It does look like it's not a planetary nebula, so we may not actually be going inside it.
Frameshift drive charging.
Which is a shame, but Can't remember anything. Besides which, I've seen inside a fair few nebulas by now. It's not going to be the end of the world if I can't see inside the nose.
3, 2, 1, engage.
This place is unlikely to have anything of any note, I would have thought. But they're both way too far away for me to be bothered, so as soon as we scan this one, off we get fucked to the next one. Except I haven't started bloody fuel scooping yet, though. Is this a Tauri? I didn't check. Yes it is. No wonder I can't fucking fuel scoop from it. Right, in that case it's even quicker. Gradually fading into view. There's 2 jumps, although we are only going to be on the outskirts even after that second one. Anyway, another pause. Back in a sec. Right, next one is it. I don't think it's going to be inside it, like I say. And this system is the second consecutive one that's had multiple stars, and they're all Tauri stars. So I've got a bit of fuel scooping to do at this next place. But there is the Witch Head Nebula. That's certainly the closest I've been to it. We're about to get closer still.
Frameshift drive charging.
Hopefully I can scan from this one, yes. So that surely had to be a planet of some description.
Fuel scooping complete.
Certainly couldn't have done that with the old fuel scoop.
Fuel scoop disengaged.
The one that's still on the Anaconda. Anyway, we're getting away from the sun there. Might start seeing some of the old nebula cloud. Well, that's the Orion one there, so we're going in the wrong direction to see it. Oh, fuck it, I can't be arsed. Well, it looks like... ah, here we are. Now, is there anything actually within it? Because we are still somewhat on the outskirts. I'd like to actually go inside it. That's inside it to a degree. So it's gone. It's almost going right through it. Well, let's give it a go. It's just down here.
Frameshift drive charging. Complete.
Way too far away, I'm not going to bother with it. Alright, well there is some colour around. Once we leave the red dwarf behind, it should be a bit more vivid.
Disengaged.
Sort of around us. But yeah, it don't look like we can actually stop within the nebula itself because there's no planets inside it, or no star systems inside it. So this is as good a look at the Witch Head Nebula as we're probably going to get. It's, which is not bad. I mean, it still looks quite impressive, but we're not actually inside it as such. This is as close to being inside it as we can be. That looks like the Orion Nebula peeking through there. So yeah, we're definitely on the other side of it now. Well, there you go. I mean, it does look good. Especially around here where the blue almost looks like veins crossing through, especially all around here. So yeah, it's quite a nice looking one. I'd say it's probably the best looking one that I've seen so far. But this is as far into it as we can get. So, well, I mean, I could admire the view a bit more, but I'm not going to admire it so much as to get close enough to scan that star, because that's way too far away and I can't be fucking bothered. So that is the Witch Head Nebula. Now, to plot the way home. Just how far away is Nehet from there? 853.61, so it's not as far as I thought. We can already plot the course. How many jumps is it? 33. That's not so bad either. Right. Well, I highly doubt that there will be anything interesting during the journey home. If there is, I'll video it. Otherwise, the next part will be when I'm in there and we finally see how much I made from this whole trip. So, back when there's something to come back to. Well, this star's a fair old size. I'm 13.5 light seconds away.
Fuel scooping.
and Orange Giant. So, well, there you go, there was something relatively interesting on the way back. How many systems is that now? 1,330. And how many jumps? 21 to go. We're getting there.
Fuel scooping complete.
Alright, more when it happens. Well, another big old orange star, orange giant, 43.6 light years away from it.
Fuel scooping.
Box are scanning those two though. So next one. Now only 9 jumps away. How many systems is it now? 1,342. That's a decent amount. Right, I reckon at this rate I definitely will be back when I've docked, because I can't imagine there being too many more systems, let alone
Fuel scooping complete.
systems with anything interesting in them. Right, more when it happens. Right, well here we go again. Third fucking time. So I'm only about, what, 6 or 7 jumps away. This time, and the next jump is to a populated system. It's, but we've got this fucking bullshit again.
Fuel scooping
And when I
complete.
reset the, you know, the thing, save and exit, it's going to say server's okay. Which is fucking bollocks.
Fuel scoop disengaged.
I don't hate the game all the time, just say 75% of the time, but I utterly detest, without exception, Frontier developments 100% of the time, because they've bullshitted us on countless occasions. You know, the whole game was sold on a lie. And then when they, you know, did that whole thing about making the game online only, they then fed us 2 other lies to try and make up for it. Firstly, the increase in ships, which still is nowhere to be seen, and secondly, this whole bollocks about it being online won't impede the game at all, which is clearly bullshit. So what I now have to do, so I've got to save and exit. Now the chances are just doing this isn't going to be enough. This is the first time I've just tried this, and then load the game again. Every other time I've had to actually exit the game properly. But although this is the 3rd time that it's happened on this go, it's certainly not only the 3rd time that it has happened, you know, ever. No, so it's still bollocksed up. At last. So what the fucking hell is it going to do while I'm trying to sell the data, for fuck's sake? Because, you know, what we've got here is, well, just total fucking bullshit. And I have no reason to suspect that it will be any better when I actually dock and trying to sell all the stuff that I've just spent the last, well, day and a bit trying to put together. Anyway, more when it happens, which looks like being more fucking bullshit from these cunts. Right, here I am. Just about to dock. There is an awful lot of fucking stuttering going on around here. It's almost as if me coming back from uninhabited space resulted in, well, a populated region going to shit. Anyway. Let's see what the damage is. I have a feeling with the repairs being at 7, that means the integrity is going to be over 20,000. No, no it isn't. 19,500. That's ridiculously low. Anyway, let's see then how much I've made. So, page 1 is 567,045. BD-12 1172, that's one of the main systems that I went to. I scanned everything there. Looks like there's a fair bit of value. 16,503 for that planet alone. 30,563 for that planet alone. Oh no, 2,400 now. I thought it was 24,000 for a minute. Okay, I don't think HIP 24551 was anything special. V380 Orionis was relatively. HD 36917, I scanned a few things in there, but not everything. Bloody hell. That one that I scanned, 41,238. That's rather handy, scanning that one. 30,000 there for that one. 42,500 for that one. 61,400 for that one. So yeah, didn't do too badly from that lot. So 567,045. Thank you very much. That's of course assuming the servers will work long enough for me to be able to sell them. Amazingly they did. Alright, 171,709 for this one. So right, 21,500 for that one. 20,890 for that one. 17,500 for that. That's it for the decent ones there. So page 2 done. Alright, page 3, 175,736. There's a few in the teens, but nothing particularly remarkable there. Page 4 is looking better, 284,113. So just under 22,000 for that one. 23,000 on that one. 52,973 for that. 53,439 for that. Just under 30,000 for that one. So there you go, page 4, not too bad at all. Oh, and some firsts among here. Only 2, but I'll take that. Bonus credits. Alright, page 5. 23,000 for that one is okay. Just under 20,000 for that one. Nothing else really remarkable there. Page 5 is not bad but not fantastic. And some more firsts. Again, only the 2 because I just scanned the first thing. Mind you, that top one does not look like the first in any system. Right, page 6, 240,630. 23,000 for that one. That one's pretty close to Nehet actually. That was one of the first systems I scanned. Uh, 27,000 for that one. Just under 25,000 for that one. So there you go. Page 6 ain't too bad. Page 7, 268,279. Just over 27,000 for that one. 34,834 for that. Just under 24,000 for that one. 60,000 for that one. That's certainly not bad. 19,000 for that one and that one. There we go. That's page, what was that, 7? Yeah. Page 8, 301,419 for this one. Not bad at all. So 44.5 for that one. 35,700 for that. $20,000 there. 59,500 for that one. Yeah, page 8 ain't too bad. Page 9, 239,854. 34,800 for that one. 27,000, just under 28,000 on that one. Just under 35,000 for that one. There you go, so decent page 9. And page 10 only has one system and only paying 9,000. There you go. So there were a few firsts scattered in amongst that lot. Not a huge number, but still a fair few. So what's that done to my exploration? 1,348 systems visited, 11,757,130 credits in total profit, 2,224 level 2 detailed scans, and believe it or not, I'm a bit pissed off. Why? Because supposedly 12 million gets you the next explorer rank. I'm less than, well, I'm 243,000 shy. So I'm bloody close, and that means, because that trip just dragged on and on and on, I really don't fancy doing another exploration trip in a hurry. But if getting 12 million means I get to the next explorer rank, which is Ranger, well, there's no two ways about it. I'm going to have to go and do another one, because I want that rank. So I'm going to have to now look for somewhere that's relatively close, because I don't want it to be a long one, and off I go again. But not right this moment, because I've had quite enough. I need a fucking break from this thing. So there you go. So I didn't do too badly out of that trip at all. I made what is it? I made 2.4 million, but not far off 2.5 million. So yeah, I didn't do too badly at all. So well, there you go. That's that one brought to an end then. So this is Commander Luke over, most definitely signing off.